Hi guys, so today I'll be doing the week 3 AMS for math. I will be skipping Pythagorean theorem questions, and if you just don't understand them you can drop in a comment and I will explain for specific questions. Now, this one's fairly simple. The only thing you should know that the denominator of the fraction always goes as the index. The index being uh, this, so we'll call the variable inside x this up here, this would be the index. That is what an index is. So if we go here, so 16 3 over 4 expands, and this would be the exponent. So 16 will distribute this by this and this by this. Obviously the fraction as a whole, I'm not distributing 16 by 3 and 81 by 4. So this would be the fourth root of 16 cubed and the fourth root of 81 cubed. Of course this is missing a cube. Now if you could this would just expand into this. It would simplify, and then you just simplify 16 to the fourth root and 81 to the fourth root. You get this 2 to the 3, 2 over 3 to the cube, and you just expand the cube, which gives you this. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to check OBS for a second if it's overloading the encoder. It's not. Okay, we're fine. Okay, so 3. 3, I have the question written down. You just cancel this with this, which leaves you with -9, and that's your answer. Now if you go here, this is what we did at the start. So this is just the index, this is the exponent, and 4 cubed is 64, but here it's -4 because it's -64. Now keep in mind, we're allowed to have negative if the index is an odd integer. If it was 2, this would be undefined. Now this, if they have the same index, as you can see they both have the index 5, you can just multiply the inner terms. So this would be 11 multiplied by 6 and x squared multiplied by x to the power of 7, 66 x to the power of 9. This could be simplified, but they didn't ask for that, so you leave that. Now for this one I will be going to the question itself, so question 7. Question 7. Okay, which of the following, which value of y is in the triangle below? Now, so a property you must know about 45, 45, 90 triangles is that the two legs or the sides are called S, and the third one, the hypotenuse, is S radical 2. So here you just apply what you just said. So here the S is y, so making this y. So this is 24, making this y radical 2 equals 24. You divide by radical 2, this cancels with this, so you have 24 over radical 2. Then you rationalize, you multiply by radical 2 up and down. I'll just write this here and here just to clarify. So this would be 24 radical 2 over 2. 24 and 2 cancel out, so 12 radical 2 is your answer for question number 7. Sorry. Now, here they're asking for the tangent. Since the book isn't here, I'll just explain here. Now, here you need to find tangent. So tan can be expressed, sine, cosine, and tangents can be really simplified by an acronym called SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA stands for sine opposite hypotenuse, cosine adjacent hypotenuse, tangent opposite adjacent. So you just apply this. Now first they want tan of y, but tan of y is opposite over adjacent, so tan of y is this divided by this. However, we don't have this. How do you find this? We'll call this x first of all, or this. I'll just erase. We'll call this x. So you apply the Pythagorean theorem. X squared plus 4 is equal to 104, basically because we squared everything. So x squared, so this is an x squared. So you take the 4 to the other side, x squared with 100, x equals to 10. Okay, so our side here, we change this. Our side is now 10. So tangent is the opposite over the adjacent. So 10 over 2, so tan of y is 5, and that is your answer for question 8. Now, we literally just did this. So the length of a leg is 7 radical 2. So the hypotenuse is 7 radical 2 multiplied by radical 2, which gives you 7 radical 4, which is just 2. So this would be 14. Easy. On to question 10. Again, if it's a Pythagorean theorem question, they will be skipped because you guys should know how to do them by now. Now, this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. You guys should know what they are. If you don't, let me remind you. In a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the side opposite to the 30-degree angle is x, the hypotenuse is 2x, and the side opposite to the 60-degree angle is x radical 3. Okay, an easy way to memorize it is the angle, the side between the 90 and the 60 is x, the side between the 90 and the 30 is x radical 3, and the hypotenuse is 2x. So, you will need the thing I just mentioned for this, because if you notice, the triangle's been flipped. So this should be 60, but no, this is 30, and this is the 60 over here. So this is x, this is 2x, and we don't need this since they only want this side here, and we have the hypotenuse, so we don't need the third side, but it would be x radical 3. So 2x equals 16, making x 8, and we know that this is x, so making this 8, and sk is what we want, so our answer is 8. Question 11 is, I believe I know what this is. Okay, there are two ways of doing this. One we didn't take, one we did take. I will explain the one we did take. The one we didn't take is a formula. However, the formula will not be needed to know. By the way, if you do decide to check the drive, keep in mind that this is incorrect. Cross this out, please. Okay, so down. Question 11. Now, what you do the 45, 45, the 30, 60, 90 property, sorry. So this is x radical 3, we have 11 radical 3. So x has to be 11. So they want the hypotenuse, so which is 2x, so 11 times 2, which is 22. Or there is a way you can do it. Say like the question they gave you was extremely hard. There is a way you can do it, which is the formula. This formula is not needed, you did not take this. So height is equal to the height which is given, it is the altitude. The altitude is also a mean, so keep in mind. Or not mean, it bisects the side basically, it bisects the leg. The height is the altitude is equal to the radical 3 over 2 multiplied by the side we need, so this would be x or whatever. Okay, so you're given the height 11 radical 3 over radical 3 over 2, so you can get s. Then you solve, and then you get 22, the same answer. Don't use this for easy questions like this, only use them for extremely hard questions, and you won't be asked them, so you're fine. My next question is about sine, cosine, tangents. So Katoa again, sine is sine of L, which is the opposite, over the hypotenuse. So 144 over 194. So sine of L is equal to 144 over 194. And so they simplified it to 97. Now, what do you do to 194 to get to 97? So you divide by 2, right? So to get to 97, it's a division of 2. So you divide 144 by 2 at the same time. So this would give you 72. So this is sine of L. That's your answer. 72 would be your answer. Okay. This is a Pythagorean theorem question. I will skip it. And I will also skip this because it's a Pythagorean theorem. If you guys don't understand these questions, tell me and in the comments, and I will answer. So, 60 radical 2 multiplied by sine of 45. You need to memorize sine of 45. Sine of 45 is easy. Sine of 45 is extremely easy to memorize. Sine of 45 is radical 2 over 2. If you don't know how to get it, it's a simple thing you can do actually. You can go to any question that involved a 45, 45, 90 triangle, since that's a right isosceles, and you just find, so for example, we have the side given, we have the hypotenuse, you can apply sine. Because y and y, they're both the same, so it doesn't matter if it's opposite or adjacent, since they both have the same value. So that's how you find it if you don't remember. However, to save time, it is better to memorize it, which is just radical 2 over 2. So you multiply 60 radical 2 multiplied by radical 2 over 2, 60 radical 2 multiplied by radical 2 gives you 60 radical 4, which is just 2, right? 60 multiplied by 2 over 2 So the 2 and 2 cancel out, so your answer is 16. 1 second, guys, please. I'm back. No. So this one, the 2 and 2 cancel out, so your answer is just 16. And that's for question 16. Question 17 is a similar question, except it's cosine 16. Now, something you guys need to know. Sine of 30 is equal to the cosine of 60. And the opposite applies, by the way. So if you have sine 60, ignore my terrible drawing, please. Sine 60, let's just say, is equal to the cosine of 30. Okay? So, keeping this in mind, just memorize these two numbers. Okay? Sine of 30 is 0.5. Okay? And sine of 60 is radical 3 over 2, I believe. Yeah, it's radical 3 over 2. Okay? So, if you do this, you have them memorized. Sine of 30 is 0.5, so cosine of 60 is 0.5. This is what you'll be using. 50 times 0.5 is 25, and that's your answer. Sine of 60 is radical 3 over 2, so you'll multiply then divide, so it would be 25 radical 3 if they asked you for that. And that's your answer. Now, the last three questions, I will not cover them since they're really easy and they're common sense. And that's pretty much the end of the quiz. So I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you do good in your exams and study well. Goodbye.